I'm very pleased to be representing Digicel at this, the 7th Annual Jamaica Stock Exchange Investment and Capital Markets Conference. Access to funds through efficient and transparent markets is the lifeblood of stimulating entrepreneurship and investment in any economy. The JSE provides Jamaican companies with a crucial forum to raise capital and provides the local investment community with attractive investment opportunities that support local businesses, rather than funds being invested overseas. Today's conference brings together all those interested in not only the further expansion of the exchange, but also those interested in business opportunities in Jamaica. I have been asked to speak on the theme of Jamaica as a viable place to do business. Representing Digicel, one of the largest investors in Jamaica in recent years, if not the largest, I can say without doubt that Jamaica is not just viable, but is an extremely attractive place for both domestic companies to thrive and for international companies to invest. You may ask why. With its proximity to the United States, Jamaica is ideally located for trading with the rest of the world. Jamaica possesses an English-speaking, dedicated and productive workforce with highly skilled and well-educated individuals. There exists a modern and sophisticated infrastructure with 3 international airports, a major shipping port, and an extensive highway and road network. There exists an excellent telecoms infrastructure with service providers offering 3G, 4G broadband, international roaming, and connectivity to the rest of the world. And the telecoms landscape is set to explode once again with the launch of Digicel's 4G mobile only weeks away. Based on HBA Plus technology, 4G mobile from Digicel is the next step in high-speed mobile internet with speeds of up to 7 times faster than the standard legacy 3G technology. Jamaica enjoys a stable business climate with an outward-orientated and progressive regulatory environment across all sectors. Jamaica also boasts solid democratic political institutions with democratically elected government officials every 5 years. Congratulations to the People's National Party on their recent win in the general election. And the early signs of the new administration are very positive, which leads me nicely into Jamaica's economy. Jamaica has an economy poised for growth. The economy has stabilized over the last 18 months, and the outlook is good. We saw GDP grow, albeit small, in 2011, and Jamaica is forecast to show GDP growth in 2012. Key areas of the economy, like tourism and bauxite production, both showed growth in 2011. And if the US economy avoids slipping back into a double-dip recession, then this bodes well for Jamaica and the wider Caribbean community. The success of the Jamaica Debt Exchange in 2010 has helped relieve some of the pressure of the country's debt burden and gives the government breathing space to make the reforms necessary to improve competitiveness and bring the country's finances under control. The JDX also brought a welcome end to the sliding Jamaica dollar. The new administration's clear commitment to sound economic management is to be welcomed and should stabilize any potential for a weakening in Jamaica's foreign exchange position. It was also good to hear that the new government is not only planning to continue economic stability, but is also focused on driving growth in the economy. In recent statements from the Finance and Planning Minister, the Honourable Dr. Peter Phillips, he assured businesses that the government will not be pursuing a policy of high interest rates. As the Minister stated at yesterday's PSOJ breakfast, there is no policy of high interest rates and there will be no policy of high interest rates. This bodes well for enhanced economic activity. The government is very committed to supporting investment opportunities in manufacturing, logistics, ICT, shipping, tourism, entertainment, sports, energy and agriculture. And I know JAMPRO is very focused on driving and supporting these type of investments in Jamaica this year. And with energy and ICT being singled out as overarching sectors to drive economic growth, this is also good news for Jamaica, as there is a clear correlation between progress on developing technology infrastructure and strong economic growth. In fact, a recent study by consulting firm McKinsey estimates that just one action, bringing mobile broadband levels in emerging markets up to those of more mature markets, could add between 300 and 420 billion US dollars to the world's GDP and 10 to 14 million direct and indirect jobs in areas such as equipment manufacturing and outsourcing services. And with the upcoming launch of 4G mobile, with 80% population coverage at launch, mobile broadband is set to increase, which will in itself drive further economic growth in Jamaica. We can also be reassured by the government's confirmation that tax reform is of paramount importance to fiscal sustainability, economic growth, and improved social services. The proposed tax reforms include the broadening of the tax net and the revamping of the incentives regime as a tool to stimulate growth. I briefly touched on Jamaica's proximity to the US, its educated workforce, the infrastructure, and the regulatory environment. But I'd like to touch on some key socioeconomic factors that will help further investment in Jamaica. We have seen major strides in the area of crime, with statistics for 2011 showing a significant reduction in most major crimes and close to 50% in some areas. Jamaica boasts two of the largest universities in the Caribbean, the University of the West Indies and the University of Technology. In addition, Jamaica is also home to universities from the United States, the University of New Orleans and the Florida State University, all of which have significantly boosted the profile of the Jamaica workforce. Digicel is a great example of the talent that exists in Jamaica, with over 1,000 Jamaica employees, many of whom are graduates of these universities, serving our 2 million customers 24/7. The well-managed and secure shipping port in Kingston has the 7th largest natural harbour and the 2nd largest in the Western Hemisphere. The world-class port facilities include 130 hectares, capacity for 2.8 million TEUs, that's 20-foot equivalent units, a massive capacity, 19 gantry cranes, 50 straddle carriers, and 500,000 square feet in warehouse space. And with the Port Authority of Jamaica preparing for an expected increase in business from the expansion of the Panama Canal, the future is very bright for the port in Kingston. We have 2 international airports at each end of the island, both of which are continually improved to remain abreast of the industry trends and international security standards and protocols, specifically with the addition of 2 new VIP lounges in both Kingston and Montego Bay, servicing the needs of the business community. And you'll note that Digicel has provided the business centres for both those VIP lounges. Jamaica has also one of the newest and most efficient road and highway networks in the Caribbean region, which facilitates safe, speedy, and cost-effective ground transportation. While I have only touched on a few, in essence, the socio-economic indicators and the current infrastructure, including the vibrant telecom sector, all bode well for future growth and investment in Jamaica. With the climate primed for foreign direct investment, it is critical that current investors continue to invest to ensure economic growth for Jamaica. For example, Digicel is investing a further $30 million in our 4G mobile network, on top of our $1 billion investment in Jamaica to date. In addition, our $60 million investment in our new group headquarters in downtown Kingston is testament to the climate that currently exists for investment in Jamaica. This leads me nicely into speaking of Digicel's investment experience in Jamaica, which is probably one of the best case studies of the last 11 years. As you know, Digicel launched in April 2001. In almost 11 years, we have consistently invested in our business here, and today we are proud to serve over 2 million customers. During that period, mobile phone penetration has gone from a low 10% in a population of 2.8 million people to 114% today. Born and bred in Jamaica in 2001, Digicel has expanded rapidly to now be in 31 markets across the Caribbean, Central America, and the Pacific. And everywhere we go, our Jamaican colleagues are a key part of our success, taking the Digicel DNA to countries and customers across the globe. During this period, jobs have been created both directly and indirectly for thousands of Jamaicans, some who have become change leaders across the Caribbean in other Digicel operations, thanks to Jamaica's highly skilled and professional workforce. As an investor, we continue to support the government of Jamaica and Jamaica businesses. In fact, Digicel is one of the largest taxpayers on the island, while over 70% of our procurement orders we make in Jamaica are with local suppliers. Digicel has continued to raise the standards when it comes to telecommunications. We have invested heavily in our people and in our network to ensure we deliver the best value, best service, and best network to all our customers. Our technological advancements in ICT and in 4G broadband have allowed companies to drive efficiencies into their businesses while cutting costs. The upcoming launch of 4G mobile will drive even further efficiencies into businesses across the country. In addition, as we invest in our business, we also invest in the communities in which we work. And the Digicel's Foundation's investments of over $13 million to date in $13 million US dollars to date in 206 projects in areas of education, sports, community and environment is testament to this. Looking ahead, you may ask, where is Jamaica headed? Jamaica is poised for growth in sectors such as manufacturing, technology, ICT, agriculture and tourism, through areas such as 1. Alternative and renewable energy, with new policies aiming to reduce dependencies on fossil fuel through incentives such as the establishment of energy plants for LNG, waste, wind and solar. 2. The downtown Kingston redevelopment, which has been designated a resort city to include a cruise ship pier, a casino, hotels, retail and commercial properties and mixed income housing. 3. The Caymanas Economic Free Zone, which boasts 1,500 acres of prime real estate and is well placed to support ICT. And 4. The International Financial Services Centre. A recent study by Baker and McKenzie indicates that Jamaica is well suited to be a niche player in international financial services in the areas of international holding companies, international trust services, including private trust companies, corporate management services, and professional management support services to other jurisdictions. In addition, the government has introduced a range of targeted tax reliefs and incentives that will play an important role in attracting overseas investors, ensuring Jamaica is competitively placed relative to other islands in the Caribbean as companies decide where to locate their new venture. It is important to say that the Jamaica government is always very encouraging and supportive of foreign direct investment. We have always had and continue to have a great relationship with the government of Jamaica. In closing, Jamaica has a rich culture and heritage, and people identify with Jamaica the world over. Brand Jamaica has never been stronger. Jamaica is Digicel's home, and we are proud to call it so. And for potential investors, it is worth noting, before Jamaica, there was no Digicel. It all started here. The Jamaican people have embraced Digicel and supported us tremendously in everything we do, and for that we are very grateful. The changes we have seen in Jamaica are positive, and with GDP set to continue increasing, the outlook for Jamaica is bright, which is in contrast to many countries across the globe. I was also pleased to read in the paper today that the Minister for Finance and Planning, Dr. Peter Phillips, and the IMF will be beginning negotiations next month to find a sustainable basis for ongoing support. Again, encouraging signs from the new government. My advice to investors who are looking at Jamaica as an investment option is to go for it, because the experience is a fantastic one, the people are great, and the opportunities are considerable. Jamaica has huge potential and is a great place to do business. For us, it has been and continues to be a fantastic experience. Jamaica is ready for business. Come and join us. Thank you.
When will Digicel list on the Jamaica Stock Exchange?
I don't have an immediate answer for the first question. I think you'll know that our Jamaica business and our entire group is profitable, and we continue to invest significant amounts of our profits back into our markets. We have borrowed money in the past to build our networks and expand our group across the globe, but we have an excellent relationship with our financial partners and with our bondholders. So there's no immediate plans to go to a stock exchange.
Hi, good morning, Mark. Telecommunications is an important part of everybody's business today. Can you share with us some of the things that Digicel is doing to allow for fast and much more efficient use of technology, telecommunications technology in our businesses?
Thanks, Donovan, for that question. I think if you look at the evolution of telecommunications in Jamaica, Jamaica is a great example of what can be done in a very short period of time. You look back at the use of mobile phones back when we launched in 2001, and all people wanted to do was have access to a handset, access to affordable rates, and make phone calls. The customer has become a lot more sophisticated, not only the consumer, but also the business customer. And from a business perspective, social media is important, is a new medium of advertising. Mobile apps are going to become more and more frequent as the technology allows companies to invest in mobile apps to promote their particular products. So I'm sure the Jamaica Stock Exchange is in the process, if not soon to be in the process of developing an app. And our 4G mobile network, which is going to bring faster speeds on your handsets and a broadband connectivity, will allow companies in Jamaica to utilize that technological platform to their benefit. How they go about using it to their benefit is up to them, but there are opportunities definitely for companies to strengthen the relationship with their customers through this technology. And that's kind of on the handset side. But from the overall telecom side, we've got very exciting, I think Tom O'Neill is speaking next on cloud computing and cloud services. We've got some very exciting products in that space. And our aim has always been to listen to our customers and to understand their needs and requirements. And by understanding their needs and requirements, we can develop products that will help them drive efficiencies into their businesses while cutting costs. So you'll hear about that in the next presentation, Donovan, rather than steal his thunder.
Mark, you've worked in other countries, and I want you to talk a little bit about the things that we could be doing better. You know, I mean, I know that's, you know, you don't want to be critical, but I think it's important to talk about your experience and the things that we could be doing better. We may be doing fine, but we could be doing it better. Certainly from the standpoint of Ireland, your experience there, or Ghana, or the other countries that you have worked in.
Yeah, I've worked right across the Caribbean, from Haiti to Trinidad to Guyana to St. Vincent. I actually started here in Jamaica 10 years ago yesterday. And I think after a week, Seamus Lynch flicked me, who was the original CEO of Digicel Jamaica, and I landed in St. Vincent. I've worked throughout the Caribbean. But I think Jamaica stands out among its neighbours as a very progressive country. And I think if you look at the investment and you look at the, especially the telecom sector, and you look at the investments in telecoms over the years, we're probably the leading country in the Caribbean from a telecoms perspective. Trinidad would be behind us. But I think the government have always supported the telecoms industry, knowing the importance of telecoms, not just to the government, but also to corporate Jamaica. Looking at countries in Europe and the problems that are encountered in Europe in the current financial crisis, I know Ireland is, and I was speaking to somebody who's familiar with, who's more familiar with what's happening in Europe, somebody from Germany the other day, and he has said that Ireland is an example of a country who's actually knuckled down and is going to get through their crisis rather than jumping up and down complaining about it. They'll knuckle down. I think other countries could probably learn from that, but I think from a Jamaica perspective, Jamaica, as I said, is nicely poised. It hasn't had the dramatic effects that other countries in the world has had from the global financial fallout. So it's been steady, and there are encouraging signs. It's not going to be an easy road over the next couple of years, but the signs are there, and we just have to ensure we take advantage of those signs and make them work to our advantages as businesses, as financial houses, and also as government.
Can we now have a round of applause for Digicel, which is the sponsor, and for Mark for such an excellent presentation? And we have a prize for somebody who was listening attentively. What is the new technology that Digicel is going to launch in the next few months? Can you give in the...
It's 4G mobile.